friend Adam came over because we were going to do a little singing. And while we were doing a little singing in the studio, he said, could we do a little bit of painting? Because he had this cushion because he upcycles as well. And it looked like crap. And he asked for my help. So, of course, music to my ears. He said he cleaned it. I do believe he tried. He is a self-proclaimed bachelor. And on the whole, they are not known for their cleaning skills, but I got to tell you, that guy's house is so much cleaner than mine. So I believe him. I totally believe him. And I know that vinyl, when it gets rusty and gross, it's really impossible to clean unless you have first step prep. So I started with my scrubby sponge because that usually gets off just about anything. Then I had to go a little harder, but look, that is satisfying. That is satisfying, but there were still some spots. So I started using a little bit of steel wool, and then to get in those little nooks and crannies, I went ahead with a scrubber. But in general, this first step prep, y'all, it is a miracle worker. It's just going to get it so nice and clean. But more than that, it gets off the shine because this is basically painting plastic that you're going to sit on. So we really need to degloss this thing. And we got most of it off. We did. So for this job, I'm using Miss Lillian's original no wax chalk paint because it has a built-in sealant. All right, so I would love to tell you the color that I used, but I cannot because I used about 2 or 3 different colors because that's how I roll. I'm sorry, I can't use anything right out of the jar. But I know this has like moss green and posh bagosh. This paint is self-leveling, but just to be on the safe side, I did my little gentle stabbing, stippling move. And then I moved it over to the light so you could actually see the color I was getting. You were just seeing the reflection of the color. Now, this first coat, yes, you can still see that design through it, but that's okay. You want to do that first coat and you don't want to go too heavy-handed. We want to make sure that shit sticks. Now, before we're going to put that second coat on, what are we going to do? We're going to lightly sand it, okay? We're going to etch it again with a little bit of a sanding pad. Now, here's where y'all are going to get so mad at me because I decided to do an experiment with a color that was discontinued. I'm so sorry. Look at this jar. I've had it, I swear to God, I must have had it for 20 years. Okay, maybe 2. We don't have this green anymore as a paint. We do have it as a super shifter. The reason I want to use it is because I want to get that green looking like leather. And that leather that he showed me, which I don't have the picture, had just a little bit of like a gold tinge to it. So I just put it straight on my brush and started mushing it around. And y'all, I think it worked. I think it totally worked. I sent it over to Adam so he could take a look at it and make sure that he was okay with it because he was like, yeah, I don't want metallic. And I'm like, absolutely, I'm totally going to use metallic, but just a little bit, just a little. Adam and I had another rehearsal to get ready for our gig, and he played along. Look at him. Oh, my gosh, this surprise. Look, you brought my cushion back. It's for a kid's chair. Isn't it great? He seemed really, really happy with it, and that makes me really happy. Oh, and yeah, our gig was awesome, too. We even made enough to buy a new chair.